Hey, welcome back, everyone. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing amazing, and I do hope you enjoy your weekend. So, without further ado, let's jump straight to today's video. But before then, if this is your first time watching the video on the channel, I want you to do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. If this is not your first time, please do like the video. It goes a long way. All right. So, I would not want today's video to be a long one, so we're going to just kick off with the basic stuff, right, that we always talk about. And that is, we're going to start with the top setup today. Okay, let's just get straight into it. Based on Edge Finder, we have dollar yen, Aussie Kiwi, and pound Kiwi, all of them reading very bullish, the score of 10 respectively, right? And we have Bitcoin, Euro NZD, Aussie card, Aussie Swiss, pound card, dollar yen, and pound Swiss. All of them bullish with a score of 7, and the rest are 6. But pound Swiss is 5. So technically, they are all bullish, right? As you can see right there. And now something very significant is happening in the commodity market. As you can see, silver right here is reading bearish. It's called -5. It's still very fresh, okay? Nothing is certain yet, but we can see the writing on the wall, right? And it is looking very, very significant. We have pound dollar also, excuse me for that. Pound also reading bearish. We have euro dollar very bearish, score of -9. We're going to talk about euro dollar and pound dollar very, very importantly today. And also we have NZD dollar very, very score of -6. We also have US 10 years bond, right? The 10 years yield, or you can call it bond, whatever you want to call it. It's also very, very score of -11. We don't really trade these, especially if you're Nigerians. I don't think you want to jump into this, right? I don't even think if the brokerage in Nigeria kind of offer these, but it is right there. So it's fun to talk about. So those are the commodities, those are the pairs or instruments that are worthy of looking into this week. Okay, this thing right here is my audio. I need to keep tabs on it. So don't be distracted with the earpiece or whatnot. All right, so we have dollar yen though. Bullish, right? We talked about it last week. We're still going to talk about it this week. And that is dollar yen right here. Okay. And euro dollar, I said we're going to talk about it. It is right here. Pound dollar, I think it is not among the pair I've analyzed yet because I don't particularly love the setup, but we're still going to talk a little bit about it. Although oil, okay, the Brent and WTI, we're going to talk about them as well. So gold and silver for sure, we're going to talk about those two. I'm currently holding Aussie card, Ethereum, pound yen. All right. Ethereum is more like I'm not fully into that yet, but I'm holding Bitcoin and I wanted to join Solana, but I don't have an entry yet, so that's that. But even though we're going to talk about that, pound yen, I'm already on the buy, so no talking on that one. Dollar Swiss, I think we can take a look at it, but I'm not super sure about the setup, but we're going to take a look at it. So that's more like it. But what I'm going to add to the setups here on the technicals is going to be pound dollar. I wish you guys can remind me, but there's no way you can because I sometimes forget stuff like that. All right, so right here we have the access code. So let's go to gold because gold is the only asset that we don't really have on our top setup. And as you can see right here, gold is reading -4. Okay, it's still pretty neutral, but it is reading -4. So it is very close to what we had on silver, which is -5 right here. Okay, both of them, I'm quite bearish on them. If you watched the previous video and the video before that, and if you're also in our Discord server, you know I'm quite not super strong on buying them. I'm still expecting some leg to the downside, and that kind of happened last week. So what we are expecting right now is more like a pullback that will potentially lead us to another rally to the upside in the coming days on gold and silver. I mean, another drop, okay, potentially next week or upper, right? But I'm gonna have to be chilled on that one, okay? Another thing I want to share with you on Edge Finder that was actually introduced and it kind of captivates me while I was watching Tradanic video, right? I kind of like keep tabs on it because it's only through him that you can fully understand the concept of this software or this particular tool that he built, right? And I'm fortunate enough to have, right? So it was talking about geopolitical risk tracker right here. And this is the first time I'm actually checking it out, and it's amazing. So what we know gold and silver, especially most of the commodity market, what we know them to be are, risk on and risk off asset, safe haven asset literally. Whereas when there is chaos, when there is problem around the globe, right, you have asset like gold. okay, and silver, and some other ones like copper that rallies, right? They love chaos because at that time we have risk off. We are currently in a risk off market where people are very, very cautious on how they take risk, how they buy stocks, what they invest in. Investors are pretty much cautious. So when there's cautiousness in the market, what asset is cool enough to be invested in? I mean, you would argue that it is gold and silver, right? But in this particular way, the same thing happened when Russia and Ukraine war started, okay? And we're seeing the same thing right now as well, okay? However, when the 12-day war started, is another thing that happened. Okay, it's a whole different thing. So the market is trying to encapsulate everything and at the same time trying to avoid market manipulation. And in the middle of this, it's still not trying to give people money. Like just take it. Because when this war started, I mean 3 or 4 weeks ago on the 1st of March, every single person on Twitter were like, we are going to be buying gold and silver once the market opened on Monday. Everybody, oil, silver, gold, sure banker, we're going to be buying. But what happened since then? We've seen over, let's say, roughly around 12% and drop in the price of gold and silver. We're still going to measure it later, but I just want to share this with you guys. Okay. When it comes to trading, nothing comes easy because we are even in my own Discord server. I was like, yeah, we're going to be buying gold. I did buy and I was out very early when I saw the structure, when I saw the laziness in the price of gold and silver. I trailed it and I was trailed out and I was like, good to go. Since then, I've been watching the structure, looking for buy, and then I was gearing up for short. And I took a shot on silver last week, and it was very good. All right, but this is just like a very interesting concept, especially when it comes to the oil region. Okay, region that controls the oil market. Because when it comes to oil, we're talking about inflation for sure, right? And one thing that Iranian, okay, the Iranian government, I don't want to say regime, right? The Iranian government has put out is that there is high possibility that the United States, if they continue to bombard them and fail to accept their three ways addendum to getting them back to the negotiation table or negotiating table, they give them three addendum or something like that, three rules or something. I don't want to call it rules. So let's just say three guidelines for them to come back to the table. Okay, you can go ahead and read that. I'm not gonna jump into all of that. So failure to do that, then okay, definitely they're gonna what? They're gonna meet oil at $200 for sure. Okay, but gold so far is very cautious, and also considering what we've seen in the past couple of weeks, that gold was just jumping up, 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 up without looking back. That was not ideal, and I knew everything is setting up for gold to actually trap people, especially beginners that don't really understand structure that just want to buy, 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 buy. Okay, not every time you buy. Okay, and right now, if you're looking at this geopolitical risk tracker, you see that for now we are still in an high risk market sentiment. Okay, still very very high, around 72 right now, and it's still telling you that people are still holding dollars. Okay, risk is still on. People are still willing to take risk, and that's why we've seen dollar going up in the past couple of weeks. Okay, and gold has dropped. And again, another thing that I kind of like want to share with you guys is it is not all the time that when dollar is going up like this, gold will be coming down. Okay, as a matter of fact, they are not directly opposite in nature. What they are most of the time is what? It's either gold is ranging, right? And dollar would likely be what? Be going up or be coming down. The same thing with gold. Okay. If gold is ranging, dollar will be going up or it's going down, right? However, if dollar is the one ranging, we likely see gold what going up or going down, right? It's not like when one is going up, one will be coming down. They don't have that kind of relationship that euro dollar and NZD, I mean DXY kind of share. They don't have that kind of relationship. It's not directly like that, okay? Because I think we're done with that. So let's go to the chart, anyways. So what was I talking about? I was talking about the relationship, right, between gold and DXY, correct? So let's go to gold right here. This is our gold. As you can see, right here we have the whole of March. Okay, we're focusing on March right here, and this is the daily time frame. Don't forget. And when we focus on March, this is everything that has happened in the price of. Okay, yeah, this is the whole of March on DXY. This looks like a range to me, and this is the whole of March on gold. This looks like what a very bearish momentum. Let's look at February, right? On DXY, this is the whole of February. This is February, right? All the way to the upside, right? Let me delete this. Good. Let me delete this. Good. And this is the whole of February on gold. You see the relationship, right? This one is making higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And this one is making multiple highs, right? As long as I make high here, high, low, right? It is trapped in a range. Okay. So the concept of when gold is going up, DXY will be going down. When DXY is going down, gold will be going up. It's a beginner's kind of talk. Okay. As time goes on, as you master the market, as you understand the market better, you get to understand that okay, it's not always like that. As a matter of fact, it is just probably 30% of the time that they have that kind of relationship. And those relationships happen most of the time during the smaller time frame. Okay. And if you're a swing trader, if you're an investor, you know that smaller time frame are just for scalpers and day traders. Okay, so maybe it works on those time frame. Okay, you know that it doesn't always work like that. As a matter of fact, let's take another look at it. So look at June 2025 to January 2026. This is the XY, and let's go to gold now. Okay, when you take a look at this since June 2020, this is June 2020, June 2025 to January, right here. And right here we have June, right? This is June on DXY. You see the relationship, right? You can see one is ranging and one is trending. You can go back in time. Okay, you don't have to take my word for it. You do your homework and go back in time. Okay, and it's fun for a while, but we know this kind of thing don't work all the time. As time goes on, you get developed in your thinking and you get to understand all these concepts. Let's talk about technical before then. Let's talk about the US economic heat map. As you can see right here, economically, US oil still pretty bullish, but with score of 2. S&P 500 also with a score of 2. Dollar yen score of 4. Dollar Swiss score of 4. All of them looks pretty bullish, right? And right here we have silver and gold, very bearish, score of -6. And then we have pound dollar and euro dollar, score of -5 and score of -6 respectively. And that is based on economy alone. Okay, so that is very interesting. And you can see dollar right here based on the hard data. We have it at 72.73. I don't know how to feel about this per se, but my idea or my advice would be let's just watch out. Okay, technically, we could see a rally in the price of the dollar for sure, especially to 102 region or 104. Okay, potentially that's possible, but I would still want to see some play before I actually kind of like jump on this train fully, on this bullish cycle of the dollar index fully before the bearish guys or the bears catch up with it. On the economic front, do we have anything coming this particular week? Just PMIs and Australian dollar CPI. I mean, Australia CPI and pound CPI. And then we have retail sales in the United Kingdom as well and unemployment claim in the United States. Others are just bunch of CPI. So nothing really serious in my personal opinion. That's that. Okay. I don't like PMI. It's just it's weird. But CPI in Australia is fair. Pound also CPI is fair. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So watch out for all of that. Okay, but Monday, Tuesday it's pretty flat. So enjoy yourself and take a very slow and easy trade. Now moving forward to the real deal, which is the technicals. What do we have here? We're going to be kicking off with the DXY right here as usual. And as you can see, dollar index is still pretty much trapped in this particular range around that 100.35 and 99.40. Okay, it's still quite in the zone. You know what we discussed last week? The plan when we saw dollar at the top here, at the tippity top here, the plan was likely see a push to the downside right here. We tested this particular key zone, this resistance, and the market uses as support. Then the market fly from that. Okay, that was the plan last week or and let's just stick to that. And if that play out, okay, we likely see dollar actually rally all the way up to 102 or even 104 right here. Okay. And what happened was the market came down, came to this particular key zone, and that's where it was stopped throughout last week. Wait. Okay, that's where it was stopped throughout last week. So I mean, we are currently in a range. If you take this to 4-hour time frame, okay, on the 4-hour time frame, we will see the range more clearly, okay, more and more clearly right around here. Excuse me for this. Okay, we are on 4 minutes, not 4 hours. Excuse me. I was shocked. Like, why is it that extended? Okay, so okay, right here we have the 4-hour time frame. Let me see if I can remove this a little bit and bring it here. Okay, so in my personal opinion, okay, I think we have to extend that range for a minute. Okay, so we are currently in this particular zone. That shouldn't be center. It should be at the right and it should be at the top. Cool. So right here we have a very decent range now. Why? Because this particular key zone has been mutilated already, but there's still a little bit of a structure there that could be looked into or that should be looked into. However, I figured let me just widen the horizon. Okay, let's see if we can give the dollar index some grace. Okay, potentially, okay, we could see something like excuse me, let me change this to black. Okay, see something like A, B, C. Okay, we can have something like X, then we have another A, B, C, and then we have a Y right there. Okay, very possible we can have a double zigzag pattern right there, because based on what we've seen A, B, C. Okay, the next thing between A, B, C, excuse me. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay, so the next thing we can start calling for, and don't forget again, this particular C falls all the way to this particular trend line. Okay, this support trend line, or let's say supportive trend line. So if that is the case, we should be able to see a further rally in the price of the dollar in the next coming week, or maybe next week. All right. However, that is my first take. Okay, the continuation of that zigzag pattern all the way to the upside, period, has done its bit. Okay, the ABC is done. Now we're looking for continuation of that of this particular bullish momentum, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Simple as ABC. However, if that is not the case, and we now get something like WXY, okay, talking about W, okay, no, excuse me, and Y. So this is X. This should be our X, and this is going to be our Y. Let me change that to color white so you can see very well. So we have W here, we have X here, and potentially we can get our Y somewhere around this region, okay, before the market rally to the upside. And that should be something like, A, B, C. Let's change that color to white again. Let's make something a little bit bold. Let's change degree as well. Degree, let's make it okay. Okay, let's change the W right here. Okay, good. So this is not very obvious. Let's make it something. Yeah, I think that's fair. Cool. So I'm gonna delete this now. Okay, so we have A, B, C. If it is just a single zigzag pattern, next week we should see the market rally to the upside. If that's not the case, that's why I'm still going somewhere. So just wait with me, watch with me. So we've already seen ABC corrective wave, also retesting this particular trend line, very decent, good enough for us to see the continuation to the upside. If that's not the case, and then we now see another A, B, and C, okay? To now complete this particular Y, which is gonna be this particular one, we have A, B, and C. Okay, that means we can in fact see another leg to the downside on DXY back to the zone, potentially around this particular resistance. Okay, don't forget we also have a resistance right here. This is right here. Okay, another so this resistance right here that can now be used as what? That can now be used as support. Okay, and it will be our C of Y. Okay, and this is gonna just be our A, maybe B, and then it's gonna be our C. Simple as that. Okay, excuse me, I'm gonna have to drag this A. Okay, A, B, C. Okay, and then from there we're gonna say dollar index actually rally to the upside. So two ways. Okay, two ways. So if you want to trade this, I would not advise you to trade DXY right inside this box here. You can either wait for it at the top here or wait for it at the break of this particular high, at the break of B right here. If you break above 100 region, then we have a clear shot that dollar index can in fact all rally all the way back to what 102 region. All right. If you're taking the trade right here, it's still inside that zigzag pattern because we are not sure if that's the end of the zigzag pattern. yet. So break above here should give us a better signal on the continuation of the dollar index or not. If it's back inside, it's still inside this particular zone, this particular range, I will not be suggesting any entry or any trade. Okay, but a break above here, or maybe a retest of this particular zone right here, then we can look for buy at the bottom here, or we can look for buy at the top here. Those are going to be my two plan on dollar index. All right. So as far as Bitcoin is concerned, I took a short and I shared it in our Discord server, and I'm still holding this particular short for now. Right on the daily time frame, I took it on a 4 hour time frame, I believe, and so far so good. It's already down here. Okay, I'm trading my stop around this top. Why? Because I still see a possibility of Bitcoin, in fact, going back to retesting the daily trend line. Okay, the daily time frame trend line, this particular one, and if we go up a little higher, you see the same trend line right here, this particular one. Okay, so that one, that's another reason why I'm trading very tightly now. So if you get a rally to the upside, maybe a retest of this region or a further retest of this particular trend line, those are the region I'll be looking to short. Okay, I already taken a short here, so this region is already good. Although if it's now retested, that might call for another sentiment, another perspective short, but I'm not super certain yet, and that's why I'm trading my stop around here on Bitcoin. So let's watch out very closely. This is a daily time frame trading stop. So I mean, for the market to in fact, I kind of break above here. That's gonna mean we will likely get a retest of this region or for that retest of this region. So please watch out very closely on Bitcoin. Swiss yen, I took a buy on Swiss yen. It's a very good one, also shared in our Discord server. Okay, currently I'm trailing. Okay, trailing around here. Very, very, very cool. All right, so no force now. I think I took the shot after this particular engulfing candle. I think somewhere around here. Yeah, this particular engulfing candle. It was also a very late entry. Okay, but I shouldn't have waited for this 4 hour candle to close. I should just take it right here. But I needed this whole candle to get engulfed completely. This bearish candle for me to take that trade. And I took it. So far, it looks good. It's already up 1%. So let's see how that goes. Okay, and up 1%, the trading stop has been activated already. So let's keep a close tab on that one. Back to dollar card. This one we've been holding for a very long time. It's still in a trailing, it's still in a drawdown for now, but I think there's a prospect to that. If dollar now back to dollar index, right? If dollar index use that ABC pattern and continue the bullish continuation, then this trade is going to be a losing trade. Okay. However, if we have our X, WXY, right? We have our double zigzag pattern, and we now see another ABC, then this trade will likely close probably at break even. I mean, we probably definitely going to get a good profit from this one. Okay, if we have this double zigzag pattern, but if it's just a simple zigzag or a single zigzag, then dollar card is going to be a very terrible one. It's going to end up in a loss for sure. All right. So another thing, when it comes to DXY, you can easily navigate through it, especially if you're trading the dollar pairs. So we see how that goes. Brent and WTI, I'm still holding a buy on those two. Looks good. All right. I added to my WTI though. I added a buy around here last week, and I believe I shared it in our Discord server. Right. So far, looks super sweet. Okay, it looks super sweet around here. Nothing bad just yet. Okay, still very, very decent. I think I took it on Wednesday or Tuesday thereabout. Can't really remember. But I sure took another one there. Where's WTI? Should be somewhere here. Yeah, okay, this one. So I took the buy, yeah, around here. I told you. So somewhere here, sure. So I took the buy there, looks good. And we're still targeting 115, 112 thereabout. Okay, but we have this particular supply zone as a very potential contender. So let's see how that goes as well. Okay, but potentially we should be able to get 115. Considering what the Iranian guys are saying, he said we're gonna see dollar, I mean, oil at $200 per barrel. So, I mean, I would love to see that while I'm holding all this buy. So that would be a very good one. So that's that. Aussie card, I eventually took a short trade around here. I eventually took a short trade. Where is that also? I think Aussie card right here. Sure, yeah, I took a short trade right there. Also a very late one. Okay, somewhere around here, I think. Okay, pretty much late because I had to see the entry very, very accurately. Okay, this is 12 hour time frame. Okay, so yeah, obviously the entry very well, but also card, and you can see the cluster of resistance. Okay, around here, cluster of resistance. also form a very gigantic divergence. Okay, cluster of resistance here and a gigantic resistance. I mean divergence. So maybe lower low, lower high, then lower low. Then maybe we're gonna get a range. Then maybe the market will just drop all the way to the downside from there. Potentially, that's actually very, very decent. But we shall see how that goes. Okay. But in my personal opinion, I like this one. Okay. I kind of like it. So let's see how that goes on Aussie card. Ethereum, I told you I'm just gonna watch Ethereum. Okay. I'm just gonna watch it. Don't really have any serious super thing on it, honestly. Just short that was possible around this region, but I didn't take it because I was already in deep on Bitcoin. Well, I should have taken it. Anyways, GJ. Still holding a buy on GJ, you know that. Okay, we've talked about GJ for like 3 weeks now. So let's see how that goes. Now back to gold and silver. So gold right here, we discussed gold actually falling below this 48, talking about 48, 42, or 48, 45 region, right around there. That whatever makes gold actually cross below it, we'll likely see 4400. And the market closed roughly around 4490 last week. So maybe we're gonna get it at 4400 region here, and maybe from there we can now start looking for buy opportunity potentially. Because when you take a look at this right now, we already have a very distinctive ABC pattern. As a matter of fact, it's even more than ABC. It's more like a double or a triple zigzag pattern. So let's see if we can pick WXY. So we have W, X, 1, 2, 3, Y, then we have X, then we have 1, 2. Oh, excuse me for that. Excuse me, this is our Z right here. I thought I had something else blocked. Okay, good. So let's count the ABC, right? ABC, let me pick this. Okay, let me lock it. So we have, all right. So we have A, B, C here. We have X here, then we have another A, B, I mean, A, B, C around here. So simply put, you can say we have W, X, and Y right here. Double zigzag pattern on gold. Okay, WXY, very, very beautiful stuff. Okay, very beautiful stuff right there. So, in my opinion, I think 4400 could be a good place for us to start looking for a buy opportunity on gold. I'm just saying. Okay, 4400 right around there could be a very good place to start looking for buy opportunity on gold. And if we bring out our, moving averages, okay, we have the moving averages. Let's bring them out. We need them right now. The daily moving average, though, you can see, okay, it doesn't really come down to the 200 period moving average, 200 period daily moving average. Okay, so what we've seen, it has crossed below 50, it has crossed below 100. Now, if it actually drops to 4400, it will be sitting above the 200 period. And that's very significant because gold do not play with 200 period, 200 daily moving average. Okay, gold don't like playing above it, doesn't like playing with it. It respects it more than it respects any other thing. Okay, most of the bounces, most of the drops you see on gold, most of them are upon a 200 daily moving averages. So that is a point that I am really, really looking into, and I want to really pay close attention to that because we can see we should be able to get some very good position on gold moving forward. However, okay, if we take a short buy for 400, the first target will be 48.40, okay, around here. Because right around here we have previous support that could be used as resistance, and that could lead to a further drop in the price of gold, okay, all the way to 4,000 or even 3880, okay, potentially. So when you look at all of this in an insight, you know that, okay, when you look at it in its complete totality, you know that you have to be cautious on how you approach gold, especially. So all these are very, very important to take note of. They have a very decent corrective waves. Are they all going to be the end? That we now see the continuation of the bullish rally above 5,600, or maybe you're going to see a further drop to 3880 or 4,000 on gold. Possibly we have to just watch out. All right. But I think we can start looking for a short buy from 44,000. Okay, 4,400. Let's start looking for a short buy on gold. If I get an entry, I'll take it just to test test drive it. Okay, test drive it. Okay. On silver, Yeah, silver again. I'm expecting another drop. Okay, I'm expecting another drop on silver all the way to 54 $54 per ounce to $55 per ounce. Okay, somewhere around here. So maybe we get a drop to this particular region. Maybe the market rally up a little bit back to this zone, okay, back to this particular region, and then we get that drop to this particular zone at $55. Okay, 55 to $54. So right there on silver, you can now see the market now jump all the way crazy to the upside. So that's how I'm positioned on silver for now. It's not clear also, nothing is super clear yet, but we shall see. Okay, even on silver, we shall see. AUDCHF, yeah, I told you I short AUD card, so I'm not about to short AUD card at the same time go for short on AUDCHF. That would be weird. So, but I think there is possibility for a short in the coming days. So just wait for it. And it actually did come back to this particular zone. It did come back to this zone right here. What is this? Yeah, right around here. You can see back to the zone. It's very, very important though. Very important region right here. Okay, so or by selling right there, because as just is very strong. So selling right there doesn't really make best sense to me. But we shall see. Okay, we shall see. Let's just watch out. Maybe something like this below here. Yeah, we can start looking for short on all the sweets. All right, but let's watch out. Aussie dollar. Yeah, I mean we are still game on Aussie dollar, in my opinion. We're still game, but maybe down here or back to this trend line. Okay, down here or back to this trend line, then we can look for buy both ways on Aussie dollar. Right, very tricky thing. Euro Aussie, yeah, I took a buy here, I closed it, but I'm not sure I want to really join another buy, but we shall see. Euro dollar, Euro USD, that's very tricky because if you take it to the daily time frame, if we tested the key demand zone right here, the key demand zone. Okay, but buying right now doesn't look fit enough. Considering what we're expecting on the XY, all right, euro dollar could still make another drop. Okay, maybe grab some liquidity around here before we now see the rally to the upside. Okay, we're expecting W, X, Y kind of corrective wave. Okay, like W, X, Y, something like that. So that would signal a very good one for euro dollar. That's why I'm actually not buying yet. But let's see. It might just be a single zigzag ABC, and the market will just jump to the upside from there. But I don't think it's the time to hold too much of dollar. Okay, I don't think it's the right time to hold too much of dollar. So let's just watch out very closely. And pound dollar, oof, this one is tricky as well. Very, very tricky. And this pound dollar, excuse me, this pound dollar. Yeah, again, tricky. Okay, already crossed this particular interesting zone. So now the plan is to see if that's the end, or we will likely see another drop to the downside. You can see we have ABC right here. We have A, B. Maybe this is the end of another C around here, around that 1.3175 or 80. And then we see pound dollar actually rally to the upside. Because when you look at this on the weekly band, this is a very, very bullish one. Okay, since September 2022, we're seeing a higher highs, couple of higher highs on pound dollars. Okay, the higher lows are also there, very sharp, very long. All right, but we've seen higher highs breaking the previous highs, right? Always breaking the previous high. So that's something that you don't want to overlook. Okay, so let's watch out for pound dollar. I'm still at large bullish, and I will not be selling. I won't even recommend any selling right now, pound dollar. But maybe we can see another leg to the downside, back to this region, or even deeper to this demand zone, and then we can look for another buy all the way to the upside on pound USD. And lastly, dollar Swiss. Oof, this one is very tricky, in my opinion. But again, DXY will give us the full gist on how to approach this. And pounds, dollar Swiss, I will say that I will wait for maybe another retest of this demand of this supply zone right here. Okay, the supply zone here, somewhere around here. A retest of it, then the market drop to the downside. Okay, that should give us a very good entry on pound on dollar switch. Okay, a very good entry, maybe a full retest of it like this, form a kind of like a wedge pattern. Okay, ending diagonal, and the market kind of drop from there to the downside. Okay, so that will be my take on dollar switch. So watch out for that. On that note, guys, I will see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. Bye bye for now.